Hello and welcome. This is the CMT Trade Fair. That was the end of the music which they play here. It's the theme tune to the trade fair, and I'm going to put this on a wide angle. That'll be a bit better. I tried to get more of the music on. That's why I missed the wide angle. Let's have a look at this one. This is the Lyseo from Burstner. That Lyseo is a sort of how should I put it? It's a type of Burstner Harmony Line 727G. And it costs €75,210. Now the public are going to be swarming in here in masses. I'm claiming myself not being a public because I sort of film things not getting here earlier. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I do try to film things from time to time. And so before they get in, I've got 10 minutes to show you as much as I can about these vans. So, okay, Burstner, I think it's got a distinctive style. It's extremely similar to the LMC van, or this LMC series, which is obviously both are members of the Irwin Heimer group. And as a result of that, as they were already positioned in a similar market area, they do tend to look somewhat similar. Right, so here, this one here got this German layout. I'm just sort of, I don't necessarily want to give you a running commentary about something I've spoken many times before, but I do rather like this. This step here comes out, at least it should do, or it does, good. And, you know, I've learnt one thing this year, is perhaps not to anticipate what I'm going to say, because of things which then don't work. I mean, occasionally it's my mistakes, I forget. But and other times it's just things aren't working. I've seen more damage this year than I've ever seen at a trade fair. I don't know if you think of this, because I don't want to think, because there's probably a couple of thousand people will see this video, but I can't ask for 2,000 opinions. I think it looks a bit Laura Ashley-ish. I can't think of a better word for it than Laura Ashley-ish, but it doesn't look like Laura Ashley, but it's just something similar along those lines. Me not knowing anything about design, but I mean, it looks quite cool. I'm sure for the ladies, but you know, for me, I'm a sort of a person, being male, I'm thinking about storing all that junk I'm going to take with me. And unusually, it's normally the ladies who take lots of stuff with them, rather than the gentlemen. Oh dear, this will be all sorts of arguments about sexist comments from me now coming up. Right, this thing goes across. You can push this thing in here, probably using two hands. I'm only using one. Sorry, I need two hands. I can't do it with one. So you push that thing there up, and then the door. Then you pull the door. Only I've got one hand on the camera, so I can't. I'll just prove that to you. There you go. So one hand on the camera, right? So, as you may know, I've got myself here a nice new Samsung S10 Plus. I got it with all the bells and whistles. I got the top of the range, 1 terabyte of storage. It's got a ceramic back to it. I'm going to do a review of it. Just as well I waited before doing the review, because most people do reviews of things. I think I do reviews of motorhomes without actually trying the things out, and obviously I haven't tried the motorhomes out, so I think I've stopped using the word review. This thing here, when I got it, I had this thing called biometrics, like fingerprints, and I thought it was a load of rubbish, just as in the previous versions of the Samsung had been a load of rubbish. But as it turned out, it's really quite good. So anyway, good, right. Kitchen is very similar to there's some information. It's all in German. Don't really want to translate the whole thing. Sorry, there's one thing I do want to point out though, is this the double floor, which you can't actually see because they put the carpet down. The reason they put the carpet down is to protect the floor, because they want to sell the van, but there's a double floor. That's a really useful function, and anybody who's done any camping or motorhoming in the winter, RVing in the winter, will utterly appreciate that. The difference is enormous. Oh, I also want to say something about this we've got in here. Now this, I don't know if this actually comes with Burstner as an option, but there's a company called Dur, I've got videos on my site. They're here in Stuttgart, and I'm sure they'll be here in Stuttgart next year. I can't recall seeing them in Dusseldorf, but as they come from Heilbronn, so it might be close for them. But they make these things here, which hold the cups in place. So you've got this Velcro-like thing here at the bottom. Then these things here. See how strong it is. I can't really pull the thing out. But anyway, these things pull out. You make them for the size of your plates, and then they hold the plates in place when the vehicle's in motion. Now this is being a Burstner, it's well built, so I'm not going to have difficulty actually demonstrating, but it shouldn't really be shaking that much anyway. If your van is shaking that much, then you're probably going over a cliff or something. But I'll see if I can do a video on their stand today, because I would like to actually show it again. I went to the factory actually 3 years ago. 2 years ago, 2018. Another function here we've got here. I've noticed this in other Erwin group vehicles, putting a mattress down here. And in fact, Heim actually do manufacture they have. I suppose they manufacture themselves, but they have a mattress you can put down there. And given that somebody like an adult, so average height adult like me, it's possibly a little bit too short, but for it's only a bit smaller than I think that'll be quite pleasant. Bear in mind, I do want widthwise beds. No, this thing here is, you'd expect the widthwise, and this I think it's 2 meters at 190, so you're not really losing that much at either end. However, bear in mind, as a semi-integrated vehicle, the rear of the vehicle is a bit bigger, and I'm going to demonstrate that right now on my way out. Actually, this wasn't really much of a review, or I said I wasn't going to review. It's a tour. I hope by pointing the camera, I've sort of indicated things which can be seen. So I'll get around here. You see here, so this is the habitation part. Comes out, and I don't know if that's clear or not. There, that probably is now. So the front of the vehicle is it isn't as big as the rear. So there, it's hard to say what the size would be of a bed. There, 160 maybe, something like that. I give the price in the 75,210. I think I get 7.5 meters long, 230 in width. Huge bicycle. Oh, another thing here, look at this. This system, I haven't seen this thing here before, but personally I wouldn't be so keen on something. I'd rather get boxes which I can stack, but use that as an example. You walk around the outside of the van, Harmony Line, then I'll show you rather quickly one or two other vehicles. I'll show you them from the inside while I can still get in them. Lyseo i744, because in a few minutes time this will be swarming here. So 100,000 euros. It is 7.5 meters by 231 centimeters. Got a bed up front up there. See the double floor. Now somebody asked me about ovens. So there's a van with an oven in. Although I think they were thinking of something in a different price range. Right, okay, beds up there. And I'll turn around. They've got a couple of these rear lounge type double lounge vehicles. Often people say, well, what's the point of that? And you've got to bear in mind, everybody is different, and as such, people want different things. So you cannot judge. Somebody said something, oh, maybe I'm being daft, but why would somebody want to spend, whatever it was, 80,000 on a camper van when they can get a big van for that price? And I said, okay, I agree with that. Maybe somebody wants a camper van because they don't have any space on the drive. That's always a good point. So Lyseo Harmony Line. So it's like the one we started off with, 67,580. This thing here is 689 centimeters in length. Double bed up there. Huge amounts of space here. Very interesting concept. Although a number of companies are doing this now. I've got a feeling it was a Challenger or Shawson, which is the same company anyway, started with it. I'm going to let this one here play out.
Ein herzliches Willkommen zum letzten Tag der CMT 2020. Wir wünschen Ihnen allen einen angenehmen und vor allem erfolgreichen Messetag.
Okay, so well, thanks for being here at CMT Trade Fair with me in 2020. If you're not already haven't done so, please do subscribe, and I'll try and show more vans as I can. So for the moment though, I'm coming back to the one I started off with, and so all the best.